Welcome to the Think Loud Crew podcast. Three moms getting real with parenthood, relationships, and the WTF moments of our daily lives. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I hope you guys are having a great day so far while you're listening to our beautiful voices.
Let's all pray that everyone has a great week and that we are all covered in the blessings of God, Allah, Yahweh, who we pray to. Like,
amen. Today we're just doing a little catch up, a little venting, a little just seeing where life takes us.
Gardening of life.
I was just, before I came in, I was telling Kyle and Travis, obviously, and also Shy is not here. We love her. We miss her. Okay.
Yeah. Just send prayers out to just keep everyone safe, blessed, and in good health.
And healthy, yeah.
Please.
But yeah, I was, today when I walked in, something was heavy on my heart, and I was like, you guys, I really want to get this off my chest. Mm-hmm. This weekend, my cousins came over for dinner, and, we were just talking, which led into gardening. And I was telling her, she does a lot of gardening, so I was trying to get like an insight of like, ooh, she was like, fall vegetables that I should grow. And I was like, oh, awesome. Like, let me in. Like,
I'm coming over.
Tell me, she was like, think of all the vegetables that you would put in your stews and your soups. So those are like the ones that thrive the most right now. So I was like, okay, perfect. And then I was like, wait, hold on. If you guys don't know, I don't know if I've shared this before, but in the memory of my brother, we planted an avocado tree, and that was his wishes, was to have like a tree or a fruit or something in his memory. So in my backyard, in my little area, is where we planted the tree. And so with that tree, we dug a hole and we put in his ashes and like had like a whole little ceremony with the whole family. At the moment, LA has been very hot.
Extremely hot.
It's just now calmed down.
And dry.
And super dry. And so that area is so dry and hot. And literally where the tree is, like the sun is just like...
Yeah. And where Shanan lives, it's like 10 degrees warmer than it is normally in LA. So...
Yeah. So much hotter. Yeah. So I've been trying to save my brother's tree. It's dying a little bit, but when my cousin came over, I asked her and her husband, like, hey, what are some things that I can do to save this? And so they went on to tell me, like, like I think, which is analogy for life. And I was thinking about it today of like how they were telling me of like how I should be watering the plant and how it all works with its surroundings. And I thought about it this morning and I was like, this has a lot to do with like how we live in life. Mm-hmm. And so what they were teaching me is that, me, my dad, and my mom all thought we were overwatering this plant because we would water it and we water it. But in reality, we were only getting to the surface. And so when they came over, they were like, he was like, think of where it's planted, how deep it's going, and what the roots are. And he was like, you're only watering the surface of this plant. He was like, you might think that it's going deeper, but in reality, it has to share everything else around it. So it's evaporating, it's spreading the water around because everything is so thirsty around it. So I was like, this is crazy. So when he was watering, he was like, you have to make sure that you're watering until it's soaked up, until it gets to the root of things. And today I was sitting getting ready for the podcast and I was like, that's so crazy. Because I was thinking about the plant. I was like, we always think that we're watering like our careers, and we always talk about our careers and how to start businesses. Mm-hmm. And what that takes and what that means and what that looks like. And we're always thinking like, oh, okay, I'm watering,
my to-do list.
Exactly. I got my to-do list. I got my things in order. Like, I'm good. I'm done watering. But in reality, we're just surfacing it. And we think we got to the root. We think we got to the bottom of things, but in reality, we're just surfacing it. So today I'm like, you have to constantly water your life, your career, whatever you're really wanting in life, you have to constantly water it. And that day he gave me like a little regimen of how to keep watering it so that it can come back to life. He was like, we're not going to let it die. We're not going to it's so important to us and the family that we can't let this plant die. And he's like, we got this. And it gave me so much hope because I look at this plant every day. I talk to him, and it's like my sacred. It's like my happy place. It makes me go outside and like be thankful. So he was like, no, we got this. He was like, even if it does start dying, we dig up what, that we have, the things that we already planted, and then we put it back.
Salvage it.
You save it.
You save it. You just have to tend to it a little different.
Yeah, you have to tend to it. And he said, water it 3 times a day, and then, that it will come back to life. So it just made me think really deep this morning, like, if you're doing something in life that you really believe in and you really truly love, and you feel like it's just you're at a halt with it, maybe change the regimen. Maybe you're not getting deep enough with it and you feel like you did enough. Maybe you haven't done enough. Mm-hmm. So here I am telling you guys, keep watering your life, keep watering your career, or whatever the case may be. Because maybe it's just you feel like you're doing enough, but maybe there's just 2 more steps that you need to do.
Yeah. Are there things in both of your lives that you are, like, this could remind you of, what to water and how?
I think it was brought up for me this morning is because of my career. I feel like in being a hairstylist, there's so many slow seasons, and so in those slow seasons I'm like, what can I do more of? How can I build my career more? Like, what are things that I can switch up, put out, or so I think that's what kind of like resonated with me and why I was thinking of like this analogy of this whole thing. So I think for me it's just still working on my career, and it's a never ending thing, because being an entrepreneur is just, you go on a roller coaster of it's an up and down
trial.
Yeah, it's a daily trial. So it's like a roller coaster. So I feel like I'm at the low of my roller coaster, but I know God always brings me back up. Mm-hmm. So
I love when Shanan was sharing this story, because like life is literally gardening. There's so many similarities in like the patterns of life and all this whatnot, and it just really made me think. So I was like, as she was sharing this, I was like, oh well, what if I get Shanan an Olapot, to help with the watering? So it's like, once you do realize certain issues, or like, hey, you need to go deeper, that's when you start building up like your toolkit of saying, okay, you know what, there are things out there that can help reinforce, or support. So it's like, okay, let's see if an Olapot helps over time, or maybe we need to address like the nutrients different. So it's just, you have to sometimes open up like your thought process or what something needs, other than just like, let me water it. Even with our bodies, like we can drink hella water, but it may not hydrate our bodies properly. Like we get so much hydration from like eating watermelon or like coconut water. Like
so much better.
There's just so many different ways to nurture or grow or water something. And hearing your story, it really made me think of like my journey on this whole like postpartum advocate. Like,
I saw you post yesterday. I love that.
I've been on, and I actually had to take a moment away from it this summer because I was just okay. So let me backtrack a little bit. I went and got my doula certification, and I did the class, and I was just really disappointed afterwards because I was like, okay, I did this class. I've had children. I know what I needed. I know what my research is like. Led me, like, the rabbit holes it's led me down. And I was just like, I don't feel like I learned any of the crucial things that a mother truly needs or deserves in order to like heal after this process, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally. Like, everything is so like baby centric, like mom just kind of really gets left out there.
Yeah.
And Western practices don't really have like the correct protocol in terms of like how to heal. So it led me on this journey of like, okay, just keep digging deeper, digging deeper, digging deeper. Let me figure out how to water myself different in this journey. And from there, that's when I started doing like all the steaming, learning about the different nutrition and like nutrients that our bodies need. Because the food aspect is a completely different journey. Like, I remember when I gave birth, the first thing that they gave to me at the hospital was this giant jug of ice and cranberry juice.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy to me because after I learned what our body actually needs, you don't want to have any cold liquids for at least like 40 to 50 days because it helps prolong your recovery. You want to bring your body back to a warming state. So it was like, it just kind of reminded me of like, I have to keep watering myself in this journey because I don't want to give people like
the wrong thing,
the wrong information. Like, my goal is to be able to help them heal like all around. But over the summer, like, I kind of spread myself thin because I was like, I was doing 4 different classes at one time, on top of being an entrepreneur and working and being a mother and having moved back from like DC and figuring all these things out. So I was just like really spread thin. I was watering myself, but like I wasn't really watering myself because it was
on the surface.
I had all this water just kind of flowing out, but it wasn't really like flowing to the proper thing. So I had to slow down and really kind of focus on my services in the conversation that I want to have with these moms, or like, let me actually give you some help, you know, how do I break it down? So I slowed down over the summer. I was really sad, but then I got really happy because it helped me like refocus and figure out, okay, if I water this system and if I really take the time with this will flow into this. Like, this will help nurture this next step. Like, I don't have to do all 10 things at one time. Like, slow down a little bit.
Slow down and
so that I can figure out like my irrigation system and allow it to, you know, water itself in a way. So it really, I was very thankful that I like kind of paused and reevaluated everything and was like, let me adjust my plan. Yeah, because I don't want to be, I can't water 10 things at one time.
I love that you said that. Like, I love that you said you took a break and to readjust and figure it all out.
I had a lot of talks with God. I really had to listen and be like, it's okay, you know?
Yeah, it's always good to like redirect and like give yourself another regimen, another way of handling it.
Yes. So, and it's been great because as I've slowed down and listened, I feel like God's been pulling me in the directions that I need to go. And like, it's been so great. So I did an event not too long ago with a woman who's been like mentoring me and like directing me, guiding me on this journey. And it was just like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like, this is the angle I'm supposed to be at as well. Like, maybe I'm not in the room working with all these moms, but I might be more on like the educational side or working on the side where it's how do I get this to more like public health departments or more government officials to like bring it into practice in different ways. This week, on Friday, I'm taking another class. It's going to be at the, what's it called? The Malaysian Tourism office because
Where is that?
The one I'm going to, I believe, is in downtown.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that what you posted the other day?
I posted on my Snapchat just because it's like...
You posted on Instagram. I was surprised.
And Snapchat. I have not posted on Instagram in so long.
Kyle's never on Instagram, so when she posted something, I'm like, oh, shit! Let me see what she's saying.
Sometimes I feel bad because I'm really not on Instagram. Like,
no,
I know I posted something on my birthday, but I think I posted like a week later. Like, I don't even know if it was a week later.
No, you posted.
It was like a few days later.
A cute little reel of your birthday.
But like people will be like, oh yeah, I posted it on Instagram, and I'll be like,
go on my Snap.
I didn't even check that. I haven't even been on Snap as much lately because I've just been so busy like in real life to where it's like I don't have time to be like, this is what I'm doing.
What is the class on Friday? I thought it was really interesting, and I know that you and Cheyenne did the rapping.
The Bengkong rapping. So,
and I saw it was like another thing. I was reading it. And it was like a
firming pace.
Firming pace.
Yes. So
Is that what you guys will be learning on Friday?
Yes.
And like getting like a rundown?
Yes. So just learning the benefits of the firming paste, how to use it, like when to use it. And this is someone who had like a vaginal, also cesarean birth. Just when you start it is different. And just kind of where you apply, you have to be more mindful. And in addition to that, we'll be learning how to properly do the wrap. So I kind of learned before because I was wrapping myself, but actually I haven't done it in a long time. Zaire's about to be 3.
He looks like a 5-year-old.
Zaire is huge right now, y'all. It's kind of scary. This guy that it was like, how old are your kids? Like 7 and 4, and I was like 5 and 2, and he was like,
oh.
Yeah, they're big. And I was like,
you like, yeah.
And I was like, how old are your kids? And he gave me their ages, and I was thinking,
they're little. Just kidding.
No, it wasn't even they're little, because like when I go pick up Boz from school, he is taller than all of the kids in his class.
I see that.
Ahead. I was like, oh, that's my kid towering over everyone. He keeps saying, Mom, I'm taller than everyone. It's like, what's going on? And I'm like,
aww.
Yeah. And
He's gonna be the cute little tall lanky kid.
Yeah. So this Friday, I'll be taking a class where I will learn how to properly do like the bengkong wrapping on other women and mommies.
Oh, nice.
And also be learning how to like apply the firming paste. Just talk about it, how to coach moms through it, and just learning the benefits of it. So
that's cool.
I'm really excited. I've just been like nurturing and watering like what my toolkit looks like when I work with moms versus just let me learn all this stuff and then figure out how do I want to apply.
So you're actually building your kit.
Yeah, I'm building my kit.
That. I like that you're actually instead of like just doing it big and like having it all over the place, you're step by step.
Yeah, and I feel like initially I was like, let me learn all this stuff so that I could be better prepared for different conversations.
Yeah.
Just because different women have different needs in their journey, and different women are open to different types of like holistic healthcare.
Yeah.
So now it's like I don't have to do all of these things myself. I've been building up like rosters of women that I can like outsource or partner with or work with.
I think that's so cool.
Just to like, because it's like I said, you don't have to do all 10 services yourself. It's also about building community and sisterhood and bringing other people under this umbrella, I feel, so that they can equip themselves and be able to nurture and love on these moms in their recovery phase as well. So I'm really excited about that.
I'm excited for you. I honestly am excited to learn and like see like you on this journey so I could take from it once I have a baby.
Yeah, I've got you covered.
I know. I'm excited. That's awesome. I always thought it was cool just to see like the wrapping. And does the wrapping, what does that do for you? Does it like
after you have a child, like when you're pregnant, our bodies go through trauma. Like it was so crazy when first time I heard someone really say that. Everything gets squished, moved around after you have this child, whether it's like a vaginal birth or a cesarean, like your stuff is literally just like hanging. Like that's how I felt.
Crazy.
It sounds
just
crazy
in there,
but it's just like your stuff is just kind of like all out of whack. And it's like just if you like fracture a bone, you get a cast, it needs to have that support. Your abdomen needs that same support. So with that wrapping, it helps like reduce your water retention. It helps like with your blood circulation. It just kind of like, it's just like a warm hug.
It's like a comfort.
Yeah, it gives your body the physical support that you need in order to like just
because you feel,
but it's also helps with your mindfulness of, hey, I just had a baby. Maybe I just need to sit here and relax for a moment. Maybe I need to take a moment to self and allow someone else to help take care of me because I just grew this whole child.
I wish our society knew that, especially the American society. Like, I wish I just did a job on Sunday for the Emmys, and a girl in the room, I had no idea, just had a baby a week ago and was working. I was like, oh, are you okay? But then it's just like,
that's
like,
the reality.
We're like, we need to make money. We need to get out there, back out. I'm like, are you, like, my first thing as a mom, I was like, are you okay?
Do you have her contact?
I don't.
Damn.
I don't.
I would be like, after I
like,
do my class, I would love to wrap her just so, like, while she's
like,
working.
Are you okay? Like, I literally, she's like, no. I'm like talking to my mom back and forth. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, you shouldn't be here, ma'am. Like, just having a baby a week ago. And I give it to you, moms. Like, I know that we need to get, you know, that's what how we're living right now. Like, we just need to get back to work. But I'm listening to Kyle and, like, how our bodies work, and, like, knowing that I took a good amount of work off, but, like, after having a baby, you feel exhausted. It's a whole new, like, you're not there.
You're not there. Like,
I'm like, you're just
kind of like, the fog is there. So a couple weeks ago, I did this event. It was I just had to pull it up because I didn't want to say it incorrectly, but it was the AWCLA, which stands for the Asian Women's Circle of Los Angeles. And the Asian is ASEAN, and I think it's the Asian, or it's Association of Southeast Asian Nations.
Oh, okay.
So it's like Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Cambodia, I think Philippines. Yeah, so Woot was right. And it was really interesting because we had the Malaysian consulate. They asked Valerie, who's been eco postnatal care, to represent Malaysia and have this booth, because Malaysia has, like, the global benchmark for the best pregnancy recovery, like, globally. And their government covers postpartum care. Yeah. So the first 6 weeks after you have a child, there is someone that comes in, they wrap your body, they do certain, like, massages, like,
I love that.
they coach you on the food, and it is so ingrained in their culture and, like, within, like, their feminine beauty healthcare.
Yeah. It's so important so important.
It is very important. And it was crazy because when we were talking about it, and they're like, you know, yeah, we know about this. This is what we do. And it's like, this is still such new information out here.
So foreign here.
And they were like, wait, what? Like, people don't know about wrapping, or they don't know to have warm liquids after, or, you know, some of them have talked about how now they have children here and they're trying to find these services for their family. So it's like, it's so ingrained and instilled, like I said, in their culture. That. It's not even a thought that, like, other people aren't familiar. So when we were sharing this, it was just really kind of like, I could see their brains being like, wait, so what do you guys do?
We just...
What do you do?
We go back to work.
They tell us to go home and sit down for 6 weeks and don't lift anything over 25 pounds. But there's no, like, steaming. There's no
extra
abdomen massages. There's no all of these things. So part of my journey has also been trying to figure out, how do I not only adopt, but how do I adapt these practices into, like, Western culture things that we are already familiar with, because it is very difficult.
With these type of things, I know some mothers, you know, just like financially, is it an expensive thing, or is it a thing that you would try to make affordable for everybody? Or
this is where I get frustrated, because I see some people who learn these techniques and they really cater towards celebrities or, like, that trend, like the trending market.
That's why I'm thinking.
And they charge
up the butt.
They charge up the butt, which I think is just, like, you know, I'm all about get your coin, but at the same time, you don't need to charge that much. Where the person who helped put the science behind these practices and actually did the work is charging, like, a fourth of the price.
Right, and it's for the people.
It's
That's
for
what
the
I'm
people,
thinking. I'm like,
so
these things should just be affordable for everybody and, like, to everyone's reach.
I agree.
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, I'm sure it's
a lot,
catered to, like, the celebrities and things like that.
Because it's, you know, it's a specialty thing that here it's seen as a luxury, whereas there it's seen as, like, common practice. Part of my mission in the business that I'm building is to make it accessible. So in order to make it accessible, it's not only, like, you know, let me inform you, but it's like educating other doulas or birth workers and people who are in that industry so that they can add it to their tool belt as well. So it's
right. I like that. I really do.
Yeah, because it's after I did the program and I was like, oh my God, they don't teach any of this. I was like, okay, how do I learn and figure out like how to share this information with people who may be already doing birth work? So recently I got a lymphatic massage. And I was like, oh, this is what you need. Yeah. Like, so even like, you know, sharing this information with people who are already doing different types of body work. Add this to your service. You're already doing a postpartum. You're already doing a prenatal or postpartum massage. You're already doing a postpartum lymphatic drainage.
Add the wrap.
Add the wrap. Like, go get your certification on this too,
cool.
so that you can
that.
Add those services. That way it's like, hey, rather than you just coming on weekly and getting this like lymphatic massage and helping your body with like remove those toxins and that drainage or that like extra water weight, it's let me massage you, let me take care of you, but then let me wrap you so that you can go the next few days and have that support and then come back. And it's like,
why do I want to be wrapped?
Girl, I was not pregnant at all, or not in my recovery. Like, I was out of my 6-week period, and I still would wear it because it gives you that support. It helps strengthen my back. If like my posture was better, and I just felt like, it is almost like a waist trainer, but it just has a more gentle like effect to it, but it's so effective.
And you said people who have cesareans can do it as well? Yeah,
you just have to wait a little bit.
Because of the stitching.
But it is something that you can still utilize.
So I was thinking, like, for myself, if I were to do it, I'm like, that was the hardest recovery.
Yes.
But
yeah. And it's like, it's the information is out there, so...
I love that. I love that you just shared that so people are informed now.
Yeah, and it's like even like the kit. There's a brand Tanamera that Valerie and Eco Postnatal Care are partnered with, and she's like the sole USA like distributor of these kits. It's not just for like postpartum after you have like childbirth, but it also applies to abortion and miscarriages, because your body still goes into that pregnant state, and you still have to like help nurture and take care of your body as it goes from a pregnant state to a non-pregnant state. So it's like I'm trying to bring these things into practice and like more accessible for childbirth and pregnancy recovery.
I like that.
So it's a lot. It's keeping me busy. Sharing. Yeah. Okay, y'all. We're all about to have this moment, this element of surprise together. We have a speak pipe that Travis is not vetted and we have not heard, but we're going to go for it and see
if we can use it.
See what happens.
Did we put out a topic?
No, I just said ask us. What did I say?
Okay.
Speak pipe.
Well, let's see what we got.
It says speak pipe. Go ask us questions. Go wild.
Hi, friends. Yes, in my head, we are friends. I want to start by saying if you don't feel comfortable answering my questions, you don't have to. But I was wondering, what about Shannon's boo? And for our... I was wondering if Messier ever tried to make, as we would call it where I'm from, Trinidad, a tack back. I think in the US they would call it spinning the block. And those are my questions.
Yo, how did she know? It's just
it was perfect. It was meant to be. I love it. What she said about my boo?
Yeah, about your boo, but what was the tap back?
I love that Messier. What is she, attack back?
Tap back or spin the block?
Spin the block.
Oh, these questions really apply to both of our lives right now, too.
At the moment, I am just being by myself.
So you're saying we shouldn't put it out there that you're single and on the market?
Yeah.
Shannon's dating.
I'm,
open to dating?
Huh?
Are you open to dating?
Let's just say that I'm just to myself at the moment.
Okay.
We're not going to put out no. So at the moment, to answer your question, my boo is, I'm just, 'tis a season to be by myself in the home, warm and cozy. I feel like I have mentioned my boo. I had a boo, and that, we were trying to figure things out. We weren't in the same space. I think just right now I'm just, figuring things out and watering my career, watering myself, getting back to that. I think next time if I do mention somebody, he's going to be that person. And I just feel like my dating life has just been up and down and like weird, but I'm really coming to a season where I really want what I want. And I think I deserve what I want, which is marriage and a baby. And I think coming up on 35, I can't keep playing games, and I deserve the best and nothing but the best. So we shall see. I can't wait to update you guys when I find my future husband. I hope you're out there soon, because I keep praying, and I know God answers my prayers, because he answered Parker going on a trip with his dad and his family. So yes. I know God is listening. I know God is stirring up something great.
Amen.
And yeah, time takes, beautiful things takes time.
Yes.
So it's coming.
Yes.
Hope that can answer your question. Your answer. Look at me. I'm all like glowing and smiling and cheesing really big. But this question always makes me like giddy and like tweak a little bit, just because, I don't know, love life is hard. It's hard out here, girls.
Dating's crazy.
Dating is very crazy.
It's crazy.
Kyle has Mezier's Pin the Block.
Y'all.
I'm cheesing because
Shanan was the one who let me know he was trying to spin the block.
Oh, you didn't talk about it.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm scared.
Okay, don't.
I'm just gonna say
we're both being so.
I received a very long letter where he was talking about how he wanted his family back and all these things. And it was like, that's nice. But that's just not the space that I am in.
That's fine.
That is what it is.
Can I mention
Yeah.
flowers? Can I just mention this
Oh
man?
my God.
No?
That was too much for me. But you can if you want.
Then never mind.
Okay, so my birthday.
You don't have to talk about it.
I did receive some very beautiful flowers from Messier.
They were gorgeous, you guys.
That he brought to the nail salon when I was getting my nails done. And it was very overwhelming because everyone was like, oh, so beautiful.
Oh, so beautiful.
Other patrons were like, oh, look at your man. And I was like, just smile and nod. Oh, yes, thank you. And they were gorgeous flowers, but it was also just very overwhelming because it was like, I think just the way that he did it was like.
I don't think she's ready. To answer your question, ma'am.
Yes.
He has tried.
But I am not.
She's not ready. She's not.
It's not even that I'm
she's
ready.
Not ready. The
answer is no.
She's not. Not that she's not ready. It's a no.
The answer is no, and
but he has tried.
I don't. Yeah. Yes, I appreciate the gestures.
Kyle's face this whole time answering.
However, it is like. Don't try and spin the block. There's other things that you can be doing.
Spin.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. There's other things that you can spin. Sorry.
Gosh. Yeah, I feel like Shanan. I'm just like, no, actually, I think that was a hilarious speak pipe. That was. I know that was a wild.
Good one. We took a chance, and it was both for us.
Yeah. Wow. Whew.
I just wish I could talk more about. Dating. Dating is so crazy, you guys. Shout out to us single moms that are dating, trying to figure it out, know what we want, but aren't quite there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Any theories on why it's so crazy or why it's hard to find a good partner?
I don't know. Sometimes people sit in my who was I just talking about this? Somebody was like, somebody needs to stop making these men. I don't know.
I think a lot of like unresolved like trauma or like just addressing mental health or the way like we're taught to like process things, you know, affect us as children, and it flows into like our adulthood, I think. So it's like sometimes you meet a person and it's like you can really like them, and you're like trying to juggle all these things, but then like there's the whole spin of like social media.
Yeah,
I think social media really adds a lot.
I feel like, I feel like sometimes like guys might think they have, you know, a whole ass roster, but I feel like once you find somebody, lock them in, because I'm an amazing catch. Let me toot my own horn real quick, because I'm an amazing woman. I raised my son. I have a great job. I got my shit together. So I don't know why guys aren't just like locking us in, like, not letting you go. But I don't know.
It's also a lot of pressure being like a Black woman, just in terms of what's happened within our community. You know, there's a lot of, there's still a lot of side effects of slavery and just like the things that were done to our families, you know, in terms of like the Willie Lynch thing and just breaking up the homes, and it's Black men being in prison, and like there's a lot of different like side effects that have trickled down and still affect our community really bad. So I don't know. I see that effect in a lot of different situations.
I wasn't
not trying to go there, but
I'm like looking at Kyle, I was like, that wasn't my.
It's a lot. No, it's a lot, and I feel like there's a lot in terms of like the role reversals. You know, women have really become like the head of households in a lot of different situations, and finding the footing there sometimes can be difficult. But then you meet men who like have a great career and have this and like have a home and this, and it's like they're used to being like this prize at times, or the way that they're educated. It's like there's so many different layers in what I've experienced and talked to some of my friends about. But there's a lot of great people out there. I think it's just a matter of like, you got to put yourself out there, be in the right place at the right time. It's a lot. So it's like when you're so focused on what, you know, watering yourself or raising your children or taking care of your home, it's like how you got to really be intentional about, you know,
who you're dating
and
I
meeting
think it's
these
important.
people.
I think it's important to just take your time. I think, like I said earlier, I think when you put it out there and you just wait patiently, it will come to you. I've had you guys, if you've been with us for a minute, you know about ghost and me being ghosted and all these other things. I just feel like, you know, I love hard, so I think I'm taking a little bit backseat of just like waiting and putting down boundaries of like what I really want and to see how things play out. I don't know. I think it's just hard It's just hard sometimes, you know, but you really have to put yourself out there. It's hard putting yourself out there sometimes when you've already been denied or you've given somebody your all already, and you're like, okay, what else can I give to this person? So that's when I feel like you got to go back and water yourself and go back and like reevaluate what you really want. Because if you're just giving everything at once, then what else do you have to give to the next person? So I think I'm backtracking a little bit of like, okay, what else can I do to put myself out there? How can I put myself out there in a different light? How can I approach dating differently and not keep getting upset because so and so thought this was a dream and now it's different? So But I just keep hearing from different women. The last time I went to go get my eyebrows done the other day, and everyone was breaking up. They're like, oh, I just got done breaking up. But so then I was telling them, I said, well, they're like, well, I've never been single before. I've never been by myself. I am scared. And I was telling them, I'm like, well, then that's the best time to do the things that you did for your mirror man.
Yeah.
So when we are in a relationship, we will do any and everything for our man. We will cook for them. We will, if they ask us, "Oh, can we do this?" We'll do whatever
make it happen.
We'll make it happen. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to for us, we don't make it happen. We have to justify it. We, like, oh, whatever. So I was like, do the things that you would have done for your man. Do it for yourself. Yeah. Like the unwanted random things.
It's good to have that moment of singleness so that you can rediscover yourself or date address yourself, heal, all
the things. I think it's fun to date yourself. Like I did when Parker was gone. Like, go take yourself for a drink. Just go be cute somewhere by yourself. Walk around.
Find a new hobby.
Be happy.
Go travel.
So, easier said than done, though, because I know life be lifing, but
hard.
I think it's nice sometimes to just be in that singleness, be in that back into yourself, buy yourself flowers, smile, and know that you're beautiful.
No, it's so funny. I did this whole few months where I was would buy myself flowers, and then I was like, I hate flowers.
Do you?
Yeah.
Really? Why?
They die so quickly. Yeah,
You're funny.
I was like,
well, then buy yourself plants.
Oh, I started buying other things, and I was like, I don't want to receive flowers. I love the gesture, but I was like, I don't like this.
I still buy myself flowers. I think and I would used to do it weekly because it would bring so much light and happiness into my home. And just having that vase and looking at it and seeing, I would pick, bright colors, either bright roses or, roses that I would feel. Yes, they do die, but I feel like it still brings, an aspect into your home that's,
it's beautiful. I decided to buy art.
That's a little more pricey.
Hey.
But I love that for you.
There's art for all
price
points, y'all. But I was like, this is gonna last. It reminds me of the space that I'm in, or an emotion or the sentiment that can live with me, or it's just how I have my tattoos. All my tattoos mean something different to me. And it's it's a reminder of maybe something I've experienced, or here's a living piece of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Or here's a living memory to something that I just would like to remember, whether it's a lesson or something I applied, or hey, you know what? I learned this about myself. I may not like flowers, but I have a beautiful painting of these flowers that remind me this is a beautiful aspect of life, or you do deserve these things, or here is that pop of brightness when you walk into a room. You're like,
oh, there it is.
There it is. I really liked that speak pipe. It was
yes, just for us. I love that.
Shout out to Trinidad. You have any words of advice or WTF for us today?
I have a funny moment. Parker, the other day, we went to the movies and went grocery shopping the other day. And randomly, Parker goes, I guess it's a WTF. Parker goes, Mom, you look like my babysitter. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you're just dressed like a babysitter. You're not dressed like a mom. And I said, how do moms dress? And he was like, I'll show you when we get home. He never showed me. But he was like, you just look like a babysitter. Okay, I was
going to say, what were you wearing?
I was wearing a white t-shirt, jean shorts that were long, and boots.
What kind of boots?
They're like biker boots.
What is a biker boot?
They have buckles, like they're tall and like buckle and buckles.
Oh, I gotta see. Do you have a picture of this? I'm so curious.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, so what does it? And he was like, the boots, Mom. You look like a babysitter. So I thought that was funny and weird, and I was like, literally, what the fuck are you talking about, kid?
I'm so curious.
That's my great. WTF, because my kid told, and it made me rethink: do I not look presentable as a mom? How do moms dress?
Maybe he was just like, you look young and vibrant, playful, and you have a lot of energy. That's what I'm going to take from it.
Thank you.
Because when I think of babysitters, young, vibrant, lots of energy. He was like, you don't look worn down. Because moms to me Boz would be like, Mom, you look tired. And I'm like, I am.
I'm cracking up. Yeah, I really don't know fully what he meant by that, but he was like, you do not look like a mom today. I said,
that's funny.
Thanks, kid.
I love it. Thanks.
Do you have any advice or a WTF?
I'm just gonna echo, like, in terms of what Shannon said earlier, in terms of like watering yourself or digging deeper, getting down to the root. So yesterday we had our first appointment with our behavior therapist that I've brought into the house because I need some extra help with some of these conversations with Boz. He's been having a lot more tantrums and meltdowns because he misses his dad. And if you are going through something, just know that there are others that have tools and words, wisdom, guidance that you can utilize. And it is okay to seek those things out and figure out how to incorporate them into your life because you deserve it. And these people exist. You don't have to struggle or be frustrated. If you are frustrated, seek advice, seek help, just keep watering yourself, dig down, just dig deeper, whether it's watering or figuring out the nutrients in the soil of what your issue is. If you need help, seek it out.
Like it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Seek it out. Well, anyways, thank y'all for tuning in today to the Think Loud Crew podcast. You can find, listen, and watch us on your favorite podcast platforms. Think Loud Crew is our Instagram. And you can find me at Kyle Lynn.
And you can follow me at Hair by Shanan C.
And don't forget to tell your crew about our crew. Peace out, y'all. Have a great week.